Alright, at this point I think we're live and ready to go. Welcome on in everyone, hope you're all doing good today. This is Clock Tower. I think they may have had other runs of this game earlier during the same marathon, but I hope you're all doing good. We're going to be doing the A ending category. It's going to be pretty neat. I'm Ecdycis. I do love horror games in general, and Clock Tower, and it's a pretty good time. So anyway, let's check this out and talk a little bit beforehand. The idea of A ending is that you have a bunch of these category clears, and you can run a lot of different endings that kind of do slightly different things. I do like A ending because there is a bit of a unique skip you can do here. Anyway, I'm going to count down. 3, 2, 1, let's go. There is a downside to Clock Tower, partially, and that's usually the fact that this game is very RNG based. What that means is that the mansion's kind of generating a bunch of different seeds as we speak. Now that I'm in the game, what I get. That's kind of why I like A ending, because it's less punishing on what you end up getting. So if I don't get all the best things, it's not going to be as bad as, let's say, like S ending or something like that. A ending is one of the game's canon endings and has you just kind of finding out the truth from the main villain. I already got good luck. That long text there means I got a key. This is one of the few things I have to do to actually beat the game. So that might come in handy or it might not, depending on the RNG we get. It all comes back to that RNG, doesn't it? Anyway, for a point-and-click, speedrun, this game is surprisingly intricate in what you can do with it. What I mean by this is you're going to be able to watch a speedrun skip immediately that's going to prevent us from dying to the main game's enemy, Bobby Bardos, the Scissor Man, as I might call him. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way left, slightly up. This is going to let me go to the staircase immediately. Once he drops down, normally if you run into him, it's an immediate death. However, this game has a weird thing where actions take priority over reactions. So by confirming the stairs on the left, I can actually run through him here. I then cancel it and continue running past him. That's one of the first game skips. It's really easy to do. It's called Bobby Skip, because you skip Bobby. Rather straightforward, if you know what I'm talking about there. As well, getting that key allows the store to be opened. Now, if I didn't get the key earlier, I'd have to go all the way to the attic, which loses time, so we got pretty lucky already. Let's hope we can go for more of these. This game has multiple modes. You have chase mode, and you have search mode. Right now we're in chase mode, and the only way that we can get to search mode to actually beat the game is to escape chase mode. Luckily for us, the room where I'm going to hide is also the room where I need the next item, so we're actually going to be looking for a library right now. There's a 1 in 5 chance to get the room I want. This room is a dead room. It is one of the 5 random rooms. This room will always be the same. That is the ceremony room. This room is going to be randomized, so if I get a library, that's good. Otherwise, this is bad. I got piano room. We'll keep this in mind because we might need this room later. For right now, though, I have 3 more dice rolls. Ideally, I want to get a room on the lower floor, which is why I took the lower floor. If you're ever running this game during a marathon, you want to make sure that you're kind of getting as much as you can. This is slightly slower, but having 4 chances at a room instead of 1 is a lot better. Since I already failed twice, especially. Anyway, here's the next one. I'm looking for a library. Crow, okay. I either get pink bathroom or library. If I get pink bathroom, I ended up getting the worst luck. But that's okay if it happens. We expect this. But I do need that chrome for later, so it's going to be good to keep in mind where I'm going. Alright, so we got the library. What this is going to do is it's going to allow me the bookshelf here to get rid of Bobby. Now, Bobby's like 10, and he can't read. So what happens is by hitting him with all the powers of books, he just sort of evaporates, I guess? See, he's gone. Say goodbye to Bobby. So right now, this book right here is the best luck. Okay, so I'm actually going to show you a really cool skip that I haven't practiced in a bit, and I really hope it works. This game does have some RNG seeds. So what I'm talking about is this could have either been a empty book or a knowledge book. I got the knowledge book, meaning I get the faster ending. This is actually pretty good for marathons, and I get to show off the thing I wanted to show off with this. It's kind of one of the things that makes A ending kind of neat. There's an extra little glitch we get to see. As well, one of the A ending requirements is to actually free the crow. It's being nice to animals. And now we have an item, we can actually kind of use one of the game's cooler skips. Because like I said, this game, even being a point and click, is going to be pretty in-depth with what we can do. The reason why this is because items are busted. So I'm going to use the item while also pushing both the action button and the item button. So I'm doing an action while the item menu is open. This allows me to generate text on the bottom. I'll show it off, but once the crow's all done here, she's going to go like, oh, I wish I could fly too and talk. However, I can actually skip the text. So that bottom text screen shares with item inventory and the actual dialogue. So by using the item inventory, I can actually wipe away all the dialogue speak. Sometimes dialogue can take a long time. So this way, I don't have to worry about that. I can just immediately get going the moment I do an action. Normally, this isn't really something too impactful, but some dialogues do get quite long, and being able to skip that immediately is very good for us. And it's one of the game's most vital skips. Now, before we can get to the rest of the game here, we're going to have to get a key to get to the finale. I'll do this on the way back. Let's get that key first. The key is going to always be in the same room. This is kind of the west wing. I haven't really talked about the location yet. But like I mentioned, there are 5 random locations. The last one would have been the top left here. But the top middle is going to be the doll room. The doll room is going to have a key I need that's going to let me into the finale of the game. The skip still works here, by the way. It works on every single interaction in the game. I didn't whip it. Luckily, this one's not too important. But the way it's done is by pushing action and inventory at the same time. It's surprisingly frame perfect, but you have a lot of generosity of hitting it, so. Very often as well, Jennifer will kind of approach things, so if you miss it, you can just try it again. Anyway, this fight's RNG. I'm going to try manipulating it by running past it and then running back. I did not get it, but that's fine. Now we're going to be waiting, I don't know, up to 30 seconds potentially for this doll to fight me. It's one of those things that sometimes it usually works, but it's not guaranteed. I say it's like 70% chance. I don't know why. This is one thing I've never been able to figure out with this game. But there's a neat little trick I can do. I can just run past it, and now it's not going to bonk me. Because it'll just ram the wall. Anyway, now I have the key. Having the key is going to allow me to get into the finale of the game. Also, if you've ever played Clock Tower casually, you might be wondering, wait a minute, don't you need, like, a robe and a perfume, or else that dog will kill you at the end? So, the world of glitches is a fun one, right? We're going to be able to bypass all the endgame stuff by just not having it. But first, here's a skip called Hole Skip. It's called Hole Skip because we skip this hole by using text. By clicking on the hole and reading the text there and also moving at the same time, you don't have to put up the wooden plank. You can just run past the hole. All 14-year-old girls have the power to run, like, slight levitation. It's just a power. Alright, so now we have the Demon Idol. We can now officially go into the end game. We have everything we need. And we have to actually get back, though. As you can see, you can't get back. Luckily, the same thing works with items, because item text counts the same as regular text. And also, now that we have items, I can begin doing a minor trick throughout the whole game called lag reduction or input buffering. The way this is going to work is by mashing the inventory, you can actually reduce the amount of lag on the console. This is actually played on a Super Famicom, which is the Japanese name of the Super Nintendo. It only ever came out in Japan, but, you know, as an older console, there is lag, and trying to reduce that lag does just make things slightly faster. It's kind of weird as well, though, because it's not actually the act of mashing, it's the act of pushing the inventory button on lag frames. The weird thing, though, is I don't know when they are, so mashing is the best bet. Alright, so right now we're going to be going to the end game. Although A ending actually requires me to do a couple of things. I need to learn the truth about Bobby, and I need to learn the truth about Mary. I haven't done either one of these yet. So, why am I going to the end game? We're going to go to the end game because A ending has a bit of a quirk. If you try learning the truth about Mary, you actually kill a character. And I don't want that character to die yet because that's the faster way of learning the truth about Bobby. So we're going to go to the back here and talk to Anne. You may have seen this in Clock Tower before, but A ending is a very unique skip, and I get to show you, and I really hope I don't mess this up because, well, luckily my estimate's now mostly going to be accounting for this. Normally it's trying to find all the rooms, but we're going to be good. So this dog will kill you. If you run into it, it's an immediate death. I'm going to skip the bark, and now I'm going to run up to it, and I'm going to skip the final death trigger by pushing the right there. That is a double skip. I, 1, skip the death trigger, and then 2, I skip the little walking period after to keep running. Alright, so I talked to the friend, I skip all the dialogue because we're not a good friend, we're just going to let her die here. She tells us the truth about Bobby, but I actually want to leave. So, as you can see, the dog is still blocking the way. And if I try to run back, it says, I can't go back, there's a dog here. The dog would kill me. This is supposed to be the point of no return. And you'll see I'll try it again, even. The reason why I'm doing it twice is because I actually want the camera to jump back here. Hopefully I don't mess this up. But what's going to happen is I'm going to use the same dialogue box to skip the both triggers, the block and the kill. So, got it. Alright, so, as you notice, it locked me out twice. The third time, I pushed the trigger twice, and that allowed me to pass both the kill spot and the block spot. It is a very difficult skip, believe it or not, but I have a weird method where I just kind of tap the button. Like, just, I mash it, but, like, in rhythm, like, every half second it's a tap or something like that. It's kind of a weird way of describing it, but it works. Anyway, what that's done is that's now giving me the information about Bobby. Normally, if you try doing regular ending back in the old days, what would happen is you would have to go read a book because that character wouldn't be alive. But luckily for me, I actually found the character before they died. However, it should also be mentioned, finding the character there does actually lead to that character dying, so Lot is now dead. Rest in pieces, Lot. She will be remembered. Alright, so let's see if I win all the dice rolls today. If I win another dice roll, what's going to happen is I'm going to get a skip. It's kind of weird. Like I mentioned, this game has a lot of RNG elements, and one of them is, do you get poison or do you get healing? Believe it or not, getting healing is bad here. I want to get poisoned. It's supposed to be kind of a be careful about your surroundings, but we can actually use a negative requirement in the game as a positive requirement for A-ending. So first things first, I'm going to be going to the fridge, and we're going to be taking the emergency ham. As well, you can see the tech skip once again. I immediately have the ham. And now, by going... Oh, I messed up the first one. That's fine. By going to the medicine cabinet here, you have to talk to it twice. The first time she says, oh, that's medicine. The second time, either I will fade out and black out, or I will get medicine like that. So that's bad. We're going to have to go on a slight detour here, but that's okay. It's funny because you do get full healing, but it's not really worth it because that's the bad result. I wanted to get poisoned because that would have immediately thrown me in the shed. But that's alright. We've done really good so far with everything else. I was actually kind of worried that I'd get the worst RNG, like I wouldn't get the key, I wouldn't get the demon idol, but we're actually doing pretty good, and we're definitely going to underestimate. If you don't get the poison, what's going to happen instead is you need to go to the attic. There's actually a few reasons to go to the attic. Like, there's a lot of items out there if you're doing this game, especially casually. You get the rope, you get the insecticide, you can even get the robe up there, I think. So, there's a lot of reasons to be up there. Now, obviously, we don't need the robe because I already skipped it, but it's there if you're playing it casually. A cool fact about Clock Tower, by the way, just going into some of the SNES Super Stars stuff, you know, being an old school game, this is actually one of the earliest horror games in existence. It came out in like 1995. This predates a lot of popular horror games that you'd expect. This actually predates Resident Evil as well. So, I guess neat fun fact there. It's also the grandmother of cat and mouse style horror games. These are horror games that maybe you may have played them recently. Think Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, think some Mr. X in Resident Evil, the alien from Alien Isolation, Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village. This game was actually one of the major components and influencers on that type of gameplay, so it's kind of a neat thing that they're able to have a horror game on the SNES. There's not very many of them. There's like maybe 3 max. One of them being loosely horror and the other one being an RPG. Alright, so now that we got the insecticide, we don't have to worry about Jennifer taking the long stairs. She's not very fast on the stairs. She takes her sweet time. There's no way to speed this up, unfortunately. But now we can actually get the key, which is going to allow us to get another key, which will then let me find Mary. So in order to get A ending, I do need to learn the truth about Mary. In S ending, you would actually go to the dad, which is faster. However, you have to learn about Mary from Mary in order to get this one. So we're going up to this. I'm going to use the insecticide. I probably could have waited a bit before clicking that, but that's alright. This is going to clear out the meat locker, which is covered in bugs. Text skip still works here as well, so when I drop off, instead of having text, I will be skipping that. This game's actually pretty easy to learn. There's a lot of neat little things you can do in it, and it's a fun speedrun. And then, ideally, I'm going to have a hidden key, but I want to get the bottom floor. There are 2 rooms this can be. This is also randomized, either top floor or bottom floor. So let's see. I have bottom floor. Yay, bottom floor. Alrighty. So here's Mary. Mary is going to, she's our adoptive mom. We don't really have any reason not to trust her yet, and she's going to give us alcohol because we want to party. So we're going to take her free booze, and she is going to drug us, which that's going to throw us in the shed. This is the reason why we need the ham. If you don't take the ham going into the shed, you will die. It's an immediate death. You end up kind of like Lot earlier. It was the girl in the red shirt. She died. I don't... a lot of the characters in this game die. We also had Anne die. If I talk to this knight's armor as well, I can kill the other friend. But for ending, we actually need her alive, so we can't kill her yet. This game works based on friend deaths. So right now I've killed 2 friends. We had Lottie, and we had Anne. And now we're going to be having the man here. So, a fun fact, I never actually grabbed the key to escape from this, so I guess we're just trapped here forever. I'll feed him a ham, though, and we'll see how this goes. I feel like we'll be fine, but we'll feed him this ham. As well, I'm going to skip his dialogue, because that will kind of start the little thing here. And we're just going to wait. In addition to that, I'm going to open up my text inventory. I just want to really look at this key. You know, just observe the text there. Hey, look, we're walking forward. Oh, hey, look, she's back. She came back from the dead. Lot. I can't believe it. So, I love this because you kill Lot, and then you revive Lot, so she can free you from this cage. The game doesn't understand that Lot already died, so she just spawns in. The game brings her back to life. I'm sure she'll live a long life. Alright, Lot's immediately dead again. Oh, I just died. I think? What? What happened? I mean, luckily I have a good continue here, but, that's never happened before. Oh, that's really neat. I like that. That's funny. Okay. Um, I accidentally walked out and pushed the plank of wood at the same time, so the game didn't know what to do to me. So it killed me by having her shoot the box. We can continue, luckily. This game's pretty generous on the checkpoints. You learn new things about this game all the time, and luckily it has generous checkpoints. We have a fun moment. I've never seen that. That's really neat. That's funny. Anyway, I just want to show you Lot again, because she was a very fun character, right? That was an actual, that's never happened before. That is wild. Huh. I've played this game for literally years now. I've been playing this game, I think for like over 5 years now, and at least for active speedrunning this game. My first marathon was actually SpeedGaming's SNES Super Stars, and it's kind of wild to think that I didn't know that could happen. I have played this game so much, and I have never seen that. So let me show you what's supposed to happen. Alright, so Lot's back from the dead once again. Hopefully this time she won't mess up. I'm glad that it killed me, because otherwise I would have been a soft lock, and I'd had to, like, just continue. Alrighty. So we're gonna grab this plank of wood now, and this is what was intended. I'm guessing since she couldn't get to the plank of wood, we weren't able to do that. Normally, if you run outside, it's an immediate death, which is why I think it just ended up killing me. Alright, so now we know the truth about Mary. We can actually go right back to the end game. This is why I'm not too worried about this. We can skip this whole box with the animation there. And we actually don't need anything else. We can just immediately head to the end of the game. Talking to Lot in the cult room, I already gave him the truth about Bobby, I have the truth about Mary, and now all we have to do is beat the game. It's kind of a neat strat, just because you get to do a weird backtracking. Once again, I do want to mention that approaching the dog without the endgame items should be immediate death, but thanks to the tech skipping of the dog skip, we're actually able to bypass that entirely, which is really good for us. Alright, so once again, we're going to be heading down. And we're going to be taking the exact same path. So last time we saw me do the dog skip, we do it one more time. This is easy, though. When you get the hang of dog skip, it's very simple. I used to dread doing this, but now it's pretty straightforward. One of the downsides, actually, of dog skip, however, is you can actually soft lock the game if you're not careful. And the idea behind this is if you push this button too early, it just you do that. It was just a demonstration, clearly. I have a problem where I'll say something is one way, and then I eat my own words immediately afterward. Alright, let's say this more seriously. Okay, one. There we go. See, nice and easy. Definitely did not just mess that up, right? We like to call that comedic timing. Luckily, at this point, though, we're right at the end of the game. There's probably maybe, I don't know, 3 minutes left max. The final trick of the game really is to be using input buffering here, because you can see Jennifer running out the screen wildly. That's going to be quite good for minor speed increases. And we're going to be getting just... The final boss is kind of weird. It's kind of like a QTE. But at this point, if you've done everything right, you should be able to get the A ending. Some people think that the end of this game is randomized, but it's pretty straightforward. As long as you play correctly, you should be able to get the ending you want. The only downside is that sometimes the orders can be quite mean on what you get, but it shouldn't be a huge problem. This is just a button mash. You just push it like 80-something times, but if you rhythmically tap, it never really has a problem. I mean, I'm mashing it because I already said that once and I messed up, so I'm not going to do it again. Fun fact, though, for you mech fans out there, this isn't actually a giant baby. That is the 10-year-old piloting an orphan meat mech. Get in the robot, Dan. That's also one of my favorite words to say out loud, because you'll get to hear the words orphan meat mech. Because I don't know, it's just kind of fun to think about. Anyway, we're all good at this point. We're going to make it to the top, we're going to cover him in kerosene, and we're going to light him on fire. And now he's dead. Or is he? You have to find out in the hit sequel, Clock Tower 2. Or SNES, depending on... Or PS1, depending on how you feel about that. Alright, and with that, we're approaching time. We do have a little credit scene, but that should be able to fit into the estimate. But I do want to say thank you for having me. I hope you enjoyed this run of Clock Tower. This is why we have about a 25-minute estimate. It's a pretty reliable estimate for this category. But I've been Ecdycis. I do a lot of horror games in general. I actually speedrun like 123 plus horror games at this point. So if you like the genre at all, I don't know. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So we're going to go to the 3rd floor, and then time will happen. And... time. 2217 is not bad, especially with the, the bug and the death. Not bad. I definitely knew once we got the demon out that the estimate would be a lot lighter, so I kind of maybe got a little bit more comfortable. But you get to see the ending. The reason why time ends on the elevator is because this category just kind of has it instantly die. There's no other button presses. Normally this is kind of like a panic event, but for some reason this category doesn't have it. I don't actually know why it doesn't. It's one of the only ones that ends this early. That's a good ending, that is. But we can kind of see all our stuff. Again, the requirement of ending A was actually to have one friend alive, so we kind of get a good ending here. We'll be able to see our friend who made it all the way to the end. So say goodbye to Bobby. Bye, Bobby. He's gone. See, what a happy ending. But we still have a little bit left. It's not over yet. See, look. We have our friend coming to greet us. I'm sure nothing bad will happen at this point in time. You see, a happy ending, credits will be rolling. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Yeet! Alright, she died. So there, the actual ending happens with the crows. You have to remember we saved the crows earlier. That's how it went. And they come back to help us, which is how that goes. This is, I guess, why you don't get the QTE. Like, normally most endings have you button match here, but nope, you just get to watch the crows take her out. And that is Clock Tower. I hope you all enjoyed it once again. Thank you for having me. I've been Ecdycis, and yeah, I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day. And marathon.